good morning to one and all. Let me introduce myself before I go into the presentation. My name is Dr. Rakesh Ratnam. Basically, Bombay is my alma mater. I studied in Bombay. I moved to Bangalore, where I am there for the last 25 years. And I am with Kumar Organics for the last 3 years. And we are a personal care ingredient company where we manufacture a lot of personal care ingredients, and I look after the skincare division of Kumar Organics. Today I am going to present to you a novel ingredient to be used in a skincare formulation. Beauty, they say, is in the eye of the beholder. But is that right? Everybody wants to look beautiful. Everybody wants to look smart. Even the trend of men's beauty is changing nowadays. Okay, earlier only beauty, when we talk of beauty, was people think of only women. But today even there are materials available in market which will take care of the improvement of skin of men and so on and so forth. Okay, so in this scenario, it is very pertinent and very important that we have an ingredient which takes care of number of the conditions which may be harmful to the human skin. So here we present a molecule which will take care of a lot of things which are deleterious to the human skin. Magnolia, I call it as a multifunctional skincare ingredient. Why do I call it a multifunctional skincare ingredient? You know, with age, there are a lot of problems with the skin. Inflammation causes wrinkles. Morning we heard in the session from the earlier speaker about the anti-wrinkle product. Okay, so to combat all these things, we want to present a synergistic antioxidant ingredient, a multifunctional ingredient. Why? This ingredient, Magnolia, let me tell you a little bit background of Magnolia. I'm sure you people are aware of Magnolia extract, right? So Magnolia extract contains two isomers. One is the magnolol, which is 93%, and the other is quinoquiol, which is about 5%. And magnolol extract is known for ages. Chinese are using it, Europeans are using it in their formulation, L'Oreal is using it in a number of their formulations. Okay. Now this magnolol has got a lot of properties, not only cosmetic properties, but it has got pharmaceutical properties also, which are already recorded in literature. Now we wanted to exploit this magnolol because in extract there is only 93% magnolol. Now we made synthetically 98+% magnolol. And our logic is very simple. What 93% can do, 98%, 99% can do better. And we want to give you a pure product to our formulator to make his formulations. Okay, why did we select magnolol? Because the very important factor which the people who discovered the magnolia extract pointed out was that the magnolia extract is NF-κB factor inhibitor. That means it is a very good skincare ingredient. And they have also demonstrated it does a number of things. Improves the skin, improves the wrinkle, reduces the redness, improves the water retention in the skin, all those things. Well, we thought if we can make this synthetically and prove that all those properties which is told about the extract, natural product, is seen in our product, we are on the job for the formulator. So we did that, and to our surprise, we found that most of the properties what people have reported for the extract is replicated by the pure product. And so we want to present this to our formulators. Well, why do I call it as a multifunctional ingredient? Because it's an antioxidant, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's an anti-redness agent, it prevents anti-acne. This is our discovery. This was not told by the magnolia extract people. Okay, and also it is an anti-aging ingredient. It also reduces oxidative damage and inflammatory response to the UV radiation. That means it reduces the free radicals. Okay. With these properties in magnolia, where we can use this? We can use in every sort of skincare formulation, right from the cream to the lotions to the serums. Okay. To the next slide. Well, I told you that magnolia is used in all. It's used in food industry. It's used as an nutraceutical. It's an FDI. To tell you, I have seen some reports where Japanese have reported magnolol for Parkinson's, and it is in phase 3 trials for Parkinson's. Okay, that's why it's used in synthetic and cosmeceuticals. It is used as a skincare ingredient. And food, Wrigley's has registered this magnolia extract in Europe as a novel food ingredient, and they are using it in their chewing gum because it has got a property for halitosis, bad breath, prevent bad breath. So they are using it in chocolates. Okay, so these are the various different properties of magnolia. What is the structure of magnolia? It's a biphenolic compound having allyl group. Okay, it is a powder, so it is easy to handle, and the specification, it is soluble in all solvents. It's not soluble in water. Okay, but because it is a phenol, if you make the pH around 8, it might dissolve in water. This is the solubility data, which is important for a formulator of magnolol. So all this presentation can be shared with you if you want to have it. And this is a prototype cream formulations to demonstrate I have the cream with me. If anybody wants to feel about it, we can do it after the seminar. This is a procedure. I am sure you are aware of the procedure of making the prototype formulation. Yeah, here we go. When I said that magnolol is an antioxidant, I didn't tell you that it is better than vitamin E. It is better than vitamin E, and we found out experimentally. It is better than ascorbic acid. In some of the things we have compared with ascorbic acid as well as vitamin E. Now, we have compared the ingredients to each other. Then we made the formulation of those ingredients and we compared the formulation to each other. And because sometimes what happens, the ingredient may work individually very well as an antioxidant, but when we go into the formulation, because of the synergy with the other ingredients, there will be a plus or minus. So we need to be very careful when we make a statement saying that this is useful as an antioxidant. So we wanted to make doubly sure that it works in ingredient as well, in the formulation as well. So we made the cream formulation of both vitamin E and magnolol, copnolia, and we found out that this behaves better in formulation also. Now, what is the advantage of copnolia over vitamin E? Well, vitamin E, you know, is a liquid. There is a problem of coloration, storage, transportation. This product is a solid, very stable, no issues in any ways, and can be transported anywhere without any hassles. Okay, and it has got a better solubility than vitamin E. Yes, there is an issue of cost because vitamin E is very cheap. This will not be that cheap, but when if you look the quantity of this product used in the formulation, the cost is taken care of because it is at least 7 to 6 times better than vitamin E. Okay. Japanese have told that magnolia extract is 60 times better than vitamin E, but But we wanted to do our own experiments and prove that. And we found out that it's 7 to 8 times, depending upon the combination you use for the formulation. Now, these are the antioxidant studies of Copnolia versus vitamin E. We have done the hydroxyl. I will not go into the details of how or the procedures and all that. I'll just skip to the results slide, where I'll explain why Copnolia is better than vitamin E. Now, this is the hydroxyl radical scavenging efficiency test. Okay. These are the procedures. These are the buffer stock solutions and whatever we have used for the analysis, and then we come to result and discussion. Here we see that when the concentration A is a benchmark where we have not added any of the ingredients. So we said that whatever the free radicals are generated in the mixture A is the maximum. So we took it as a standard 1, and against 1 we measured the other solutions, right? And this is as per the ICS guidelines. We have not done any brainstorming research on this. Whatever was available in the literature in ICS guidelines, we followed that procedures and we did the experiments. Okay. Now, if here you see, here, if you see this solution B, where the concentration of the Copnolia, vitamin E and ascorbic acid is 1 millimoles. Okay. At this concentration, the generation of free radicals in case of Copnolia, which is magnolol, is 0.77, this is 1.27, ascorbic acid is 2.5. So there is tremendous difference. And as we increase the millimoles, the concentration of the active in the formulation, we see that there is a decrease in the free radicals. Okay. Now, based on this, we did a graphical representation of that, and then you see that as the concentration increases, the free radical decreases. Whereas for vitamin E, it increases, and after a certain point, it decreases. And ascorbic acid, you know, it's not very stable molecule, so there will be other tests. Okay. Now, what does it suggest? It suggests that if you see the number of free radicals generated is almost 7 times more than Copnolia. So it means that it is 7 times more effective as an ingredient. Okay. Now, next we did a superoxide radical scavenging test. This is the procedure, which again it is as we increase the concentration of Copnolia, there is a decrease in the free radicals. Okay, whereas compare these two, there is almost 3 times. Okay, so we say that this is 3 times more effective for superoxide free radical. So all the free radicals which can be generated, vitamin E Copnolia can control better than vitamin E. Okay. Then we go to singlet oxygen scavenging efficiency test. Here again, if we go to the results are similar. Here the concentration was little, we have varied the concentration, we have taken microgram per ml, and we have done only Copnolia and vitamin E. We have not done the ascorbic acid here. And you see that when the concentration is 100 micrograms per ml, the percentage of singlet oxygen here in case of Copnolia is 0.11, it is 0.6, almost 6 times better. Okay. Now, when we go to, and then we also wanted to do the photostability test, vitamin E versus Copnolia. We know for sure that vitamin E is less stable than Copnolia. It's an unstable molecule if it is exposed to light and humidity. Okay. So, nevertheless, to have a data generated, we did this test, and we said that we found out that after 25 hours, the Copnolia, the content of Copnolia remains 72%. From 100% it's come down to 72%. There is a decrease. Okay, but compared to vitamin E, it's almost half. Vitamin E is only 40%. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that Copnolia is a better antioxidant than vitamin E, and it has a better stability to sunlight. Okay. This is the graphical representation of that. I can share this presentation if you want to have it. Then we went to the creams. I said, as I told you in the beginning, we wanted to know that this results so good in the cream also. And this is the first test which we did was visual superoxide test. I'll go to the results directly. Okay. Now here we see that in Copnolia based cream against placebo and vitamin E, it's about 0.5 and 0.74. It's almost 1.5 times more than the vitamin E cream. See, what I'm trying to say here is that whatever cream you make with Copnolia and compare the cream with vitamin E, Copnolia will have better antioxidant properties in that cream. Here again hydroxyl radical stability test. I just go to the results. Again, if you see here, it's almost 3 times better than vitamin E. Here we have taken vitamin E acetate instead of vitamin E oil because of certain formulation issues. Okay. Now this is almost 3 times. Then we did the photostability. Again, photostability. If you see, this is up to 70%, whereas in case of vitamin E is 58 and placebo is 20. So this is 1.3 times better than vitamin E. Okay, then this is singlet oxygen scavenging test. Again, if you see it, as the concentration increases, the effect of Copnolia as an antioxidant also increases. The free radical numbers decrease. Okay, and it is almost 1.5 times, almost 2 times, 1.5 to 2 times. Okay. Now, so having proven that Copnolia is a very good antioxidant, we wanted to see whether it is effective for other properties which can be used in skincare formulations. One of the activities which we were interested in was anti-acne, and we had this ingredient, this Chiba bakuchiol, in-house. We tried to compare with this. Chiba is basically an extract from Sorolia seeds, from the epicarp of the seed. Okay. And this is a very good antioxidant and antibacterial. Next to triclosan, we have screened many antibacterials because we are the pioneers in triclosan. So we wanted to find a replacement for triclosan, and when we screened this is one of the best. But the only problem with this is the cost. It's nowhere compared to the cost of triclosan. Okay. So, but it shows a very good anti-acne properties. We have few customers in Europe for this. It's a very high value product. It goes in high-end formulations. Okay, and when we did the zone inhibition studies, it is very good. It's almost 20 times better than Magnolol, better than Chiba. Then we said that, okay, we saw in the literature that Copnolia extract, the Magnolol extract is being used with some certain oils, and they have reported the combination as preservatives against both gram-negative and gram-positive microorganisms. So we wanted to study this with our ingredient also. It's the gram-negative. Okay. But when we scanned the literature, we did find some literature where they have said that 99% of Magnolol extract, which is purified through column chromatography, gives positive tests for both gram-negative and gram-positive. But although the gram-negative test results were not as good as compared to gram-positive, but it was there. So our understanding was that we need to do something twitching to this product to improve this property, so that this property can also be used as a point in our advertisement for the formulator, saying that this is the property they can exploit of this molecule. Okay, this is the literature references where it has shown that both gram-negative is beta stabilis, this is gram-positive. The second one is E. coli, which is gram negative. So it is showing, but we didn't see in our Magnalog initially. Okay. Then what we did is we thought that okay, let us see the microbial testing in the screen first, and then we'll go to the combination. We did that. The aim was very simple, to check whether Cochnolia alone can act as a preservative in the skin cream or it needs something else along with that. Okay, so we did this test and we found out that we know for sure that it was gram positive, it is giving a test, but gram negative it was not. So we made the cream and we did these three parameters: total plate count, yeast modes and pathogens. Okay. This was the procedure after 2 days of storage at RT, and after 1 month it's storage at RT. Okay. Now we have seen that after 2 days the total plate count was less than 10 CFU per gram, and after 1 month also it was 10 CFU per month. Eastern modes, again it was and pathogens were absent. So this was a very surprising results for us. But what we concluded at that point of time was that skin cream passes the specification limit for TPC, Eastern modes and pathogens. The skin cream is protected from microbial contamination in the formulation for the mentioned test period, but we didn't know how it happened. So we went back to our drawing board again, okay, and then we did a mixture of Cognolia with oils. And to our surprise, to our pleasant surprise, we found out that it does give activity against gram negative also. So this was the point where we thought that this can be a multi-purpose ingredient. Again, one point which we left out here was the anti-inflammatory activity of Magnalog. Okay, this is under progress right now. We are doing it, and within a month or two we will be getting the results. But as I know now what the results we have got, the results are very promising and it looks good. And I'm sure whatever we are saying we will be proving ourselves right at the end of the day, and we will give the cosmetic market a very good ingredient which will have all this property built in one product. Thank you very much. If you have any questions right now, I'll be happy to answer that. Please come to our stall number 245. If you have any questions after, you can come there, I will clarify. Thank you very much.